everybody. So it's Alison from DigiTeach, and I just thought I would do a little clip really on working for some ESL companies, because there are so many changes at the moment in the Chinese government really that have ordered, really, there's no choice, they have ordered educational platforms in Asia that provide English lessons for Asian students. They have ordered them that they have to meet certain conditions. I'm just going to go to my blog post. I don't know if you've seen this. For lots of us, for lots of teachers that are quite highly qualified, it doesn't really make that much of a difference apart from the time element of things, because the class times have been reduced. But if you haven't seen my blog post, I'll leave a link below or above, wherever it will be, for the blog post. These are what the new rules are. So the first thing is that all teachers must hold TEFLs, TESOLs, or CELTAs or CELTAs, however you want to pronounce it. That's pretty standard, and we've seen that in the last couple of years coming in. A lot of platforms were really enforcing that last year. So there's nothing really new about that. But everybody now has to have a degree, and they have to have some kind of experience in teaching, preferably online and offline. They kind of like it both. So what happens now is if you don't have these qualifications, then it's not like the company's fault, because they can actually get into really serious trouble if they are caught employing foreign teachers. And this is a rule specifically for foreign teachers, and I'll go into the reasons why later on in this. They can get really seriously fined, and then they can get blacklisted by the Chinese Education Authority, and then they can obviously be dealt with by the legal Chinese system. So it's not really something you would want to dabble with. So it isn't the platform's fault. So if you're getting emails and messages and what have you from the company or the companies you're working from saying you need to do this, you need to do that, they haven't really been given any choice. It's a decision that has been made. Now, why has it been made? This is the interesting thing. So when I started researching this, I mean, let's be honest, it's good that there is a good standard of required from foreign teachers. I think sometimes people think, oh, if you're teaching little kids English, that it's some kind of a cop-out and it's easy. Well, for anybody that has done it or is doing it or still does it, you will know that that is just not true. However, lots of people kind of make this general assumption. There are obviously people that have very little experience of teaching anything at all, especially teaching ESL or EFL, because it's just not the case. However, I thought when this had come in that it was because of something, about standards or something. But when I delved down and I went into China Daily and I started looking at Chinese resources, this actually comes from Caxing on the 12th of July. So this is quite recent. I've listed this all in my blog post if you want to actually get the details. Now, basically, it's foreign teachers need to be identified under new government rules, okay? Now, this is a central government decision in China, and it's for all online platforms, as I said. So one of the reasons was because they actually had concerns. They had concerns over foreign teachers. So it isn't just about the education quality, which is obviously very good, because lots of us want to work with professionals that have a high qualification, a lot of experience. It's just nicer and it's a lot better. When you're a professional, you want to work with professionals. Yeah, the other thing that's really come out in this report in Caxin on the 12th of July is that they're actually concerned over the safety, the actual term safety of their pupils is used in this document, which is really, I found that quite shocking, and I was a little bit upset by it actually, as I'm sure many of you are. So what the Chinese government have said now is not only do you have to have a TEFL, a TESOL, a CELTA and an honours degree and experience, which is pretty standard. I'm from London in the UK, that's standard anyway. You have to have all of those things, and you have to have a postgraduate certificate in education for teaching and an MA. Quite often an MA, you have to have an MA, but it's preferred. And I think it's quite standard in the States as well. So that's not really new. And obviously you have to have like police checks. We have to have police checks in England. I'm sure that's the same in the States. In England we have to have like I still work and I do specialist teaching as well. So I have like what's called a live DBS. So mine's live wherever I go. It has a live status. It's not just a paper thing. So, that's quite normal. However, in order to get that police clearance, you have to submit certain information to the police, and they do their background checks, and they keep making those background checks through the information that you give them. And that's quite normal in my country. However, according to Caxton, not only do you have to have some kind of police clearance like you would have from your own country, but they also want to and will be publishing publicly, it says here, your name, your photo, your qualifications, your name, your photo, your teaching qualifications, previous academic and professional experience. So that's like quite a lot. I mean, I wouldn't be happy about all that information just being put anywhere. I think when you put it out there yourself, you kind of, really, if you put anything out there digitally, then it's quite difficult to control it, because, anything can be migrated digitally, pretty much so. However, when you are the person putting your own information out there as a teacher or as a professional, you are, I think, perhaps paying attention to what you're putting out there. And obviously, I'm certainly not happy about my degree certificate, for example, being put online. I know it's quite standard for us to send it to the companies and things like that. That's fine. I personally don't have a problem with that. But I'm not sure how far this type of thing is going to go, and if when they're talking about your academic qualifications, are they actually meaning your your certificates? I certainly hope not. That's a little bit of a grey area. It's not, it hints at that in this report, but it doesn't actually say either way. So it's a bit of a grey area. So this is coming into effect, now, and definitely being rolled out for 2020. So what are the choices? So the choices are basically you can carry on working online for Asia, and adapt to these rules and accept these things, or you cannot. You can work for other countries, Russia, other places, England, or you can become an online teacher yourself. Now, I'm a specialist teacher. I specialise in English and foreign languages. That's all I teach. I don't teach anything else now. So I have quite a lot of private clients that I teach French. I don't teach them a huge amount English. I teach mostly French. And I have written a course called the Teacherpreneur course, which shows you how to actually become a teacherpreneur and move you from migrating from just working yourself for a company or working in a brick and mortar school, all the way through to actually having your own tutoring business or your own language school. Now, I'm really my language school is for foreign languages. It is not for English, so I want to make that quite clear. So I think it's quite important that you kind of have a bit of a backup plan. I have actually written a blog post today, and I'm going to drop the link down below, on 3 of the top kind of ESL Asian companies at the moment, kind of the powerhouses in Asia. And if you wanted to work online as an English teacher, whilst you're maybe building up your own private clients teaching another subject or another a thing, whatever it is you want to do, seaweed farming. I always wanted to be like a seaweed farmer in Tahiti. I mean, it'd be really interesting to learn about that. So if anybody's done something like that, then, you know, drop me a message. I genuinely would love to do that one day. Go live in Tahiti, that'd be lovely. So, you know, there's so many things. I don't see this as a negative, this happening. I see this as, okay, everything changes, evolution happens, we have to adapt to change, that's fine. I'm just not too sure about these qualifications being kind of put out there publicly and all the rest of it, in the name and the photo. I'm not sure how far that goes. Is it just on the platform? Is it publicly? Obviously, China have got their own firewall and everything like that. So I guess it's not like we could perhaps check things. I just don't know how, I'm not sure how that would work. I'm not sure about that. So if anybody's got any information about that, actually, that would be really interesting to have some more information about that. Obviously, I read I get all my information from the Chinese tabloids and the Chinese educational press, because obviously it's got to be, you know, correct. So if you've got any more information about that, then let me know. Anyway, I'm going to leave it there. Have a lovely evening. It's wonderful and sunny here in England at the moment. Very jealous of all of my friends and associates who are currently in lovely places like Thailand and Vietnam. It hasn't been a great summer here. I think we had about 6 days of sun. It's been pretty rubbish. And also in my little blog post below, I've left some 3 referral links actually. So if you wanted to apply directly to these companies, you could apply directly from clicking on the link and be working up and running, up and working in a few days if that's what you wanted to do. I am going to do another video going a little bit deeper into those companies. A few of them I've worked for myself, and I have friends obviously that teach them as well. So this is real gospel. This is the real lowdown from teachers that have actually been there and done it. So I think that's what's really important. Kind of the shiny box syndrome does exist also in the ESL world, as we all know. So it's really nice if you're going to invest your time and energy in training that you actually, you know, make sure you try and choose the right company if that's what you want to do, and if you don't want to go freelance yourself. Anyway, take care everybody. Keep it happy, keep it digital, keep teaching. See you next time. Have a great day. Goodbye.